our inherent nowness is always the case. It's not even a teaching about awakening. Because awakening says you weren't awake, and then you became awake, and now you're different, you're special, you're awake. And that comes with so many problems. Built in, baked in, inescapable. Because it's a tracking using mind of some kind of experience that happened at a certain time and place. If you're one of the lucky ones that can say, this is when it happened. Or so many people, it's like, well, I think I'm awake, but it kind of gradually happened. All of that. See all of that though? So there was something that you became that you weren't before. So who is the you there? The you is that which changes by definition. Now, there's a place for that. There's a place for that language. There's a whole, there's nodes in the mandala in which that language is entirely appropriate. Developmental, all of that. This is a bit different though. This is the great equalizer. So the bad news is that you're not special. That all of your spiritual practice didn't make you any different at this level in terms of transcendental divine identity. Or if it did anything, it brought you to this place where you see that it's a burden. Or extra baggage, maybe not a burden, just extra baggage. You have never been bound. You are inherently free, as is every being, every sentient being. That's transcendental divine identity. This is transcendental divine identity. The good news is you are inherently free, so you can't lose it. Even if you have a dogma that says, once you awaken, you can't lose it. You still remember you were one way and now you're another way. And you know that the nature of everything is change. So you'll still be going, but wait a minute, I still get angry, or I still this. And then you'll have another voice that'll come. It's okay. If you're angry, it doesn't mean you're not awake. If you're this, it doesn't mean you're not awake. And you'll have that continuous, like having to balance and rebalance, because it's looking at the mind, and it's looking at time, it's looking at change, the changeable being, to know whether you're there. And all of that can still go on. But it's the level of mind, it's the level of tracking using mind. You are inherently free. You are inherently that which is aware of that mind. That which is aware of thoughts of the past. That which is aware of thoughts of an I that is awake or an I that isn't awake. You are the awareness of that. And the awareness of that is intrinsically awake in a way that there's no waking or sleeping. Because if there's a kind of, well, I didn't know, there was an awareness of not knowing, or there was an awareness of that ignorance, that state of ignorance. And then there was not being ignorant, and there was an awareness of that state of not being ignorant or of being awake. It is that which doesn't change. It is that which you truly, in the deepest way, are, always. Okay, that's a good way to start.